Hello students, today I will be starting Operating System Lab Part A. The first program is Simulation of Producer and Consumer using the semaphore. In my previous video, I just showed you the execution of the program, and today let us discuss the code of the program. Let us try to understand the logic. This is C program. We are going to save it as a .c file. The first line is #include. This is a preprocessor directive that is used to include the library file. The library files in C are also known as the header files. The name of our header file is stdio.h. std stands for standard, IO stands for input output. There are some functions which are defined in this library file, and that will be used for our standard input and output operations. So what are those functions? Printf and scanf. Okay, so because we want to use printf and scanf in our program, we are including this header file stdio.h. The next line, if you see, it is #define. This is a preprocessor directive again, and #define is used to define the symbolic constant. Now, what do you mean by symbolic constant? Symbolic constant is a term used when a variable acts as a constant. For example, you see this size. We say #define size, and in front of that we are saying 5. That means now size is going to act like a constant 5. Wherever in our program we are using the word size, that is going to be replaced with the number. What are we defining? We are defining an array of type integer, and the name of the array is buffer, and the size of the array is size. So that means the size of the array is here 5. Why are we defining this array buffer? Because as we know, like producer and consumer will be using the buffer to insert the data and to consume the data from, and that buffer will be using array to denote the working of the. Next, there are two more integer variables, in and out. We'll be producing. The producer will use the in variable to produce the data or item, and consumer is going to use the out variable to consume the item from the buffer. And since producer is going to produce the item and consumer is going to consume the item, we also have a variable with name item, and the data type here is integer, and this variable is initialized to value 1. Similarly, the variable in and the variable out, both the variables are initialized to the value 0. Next, there are two more variables of type integer, but these are the special variables because these variables are our semaphore. So producer and consumer both are going to use this synchronization tool, and the name of our semaphore in this program, there are two semaphores, so the names are full and empty. Full is initialized to 0 and empty is initialized to size. Size is nothing but 5. Okay, fine. Then there are two atomic operations. As we all know, semaphore, we can perform two atomic operations on the semaphore, wait and signal. So here is the definition of wait function, and here is the definition of signal function. At present, I am not discussing the logic of, I am not discussing the lines which are defined in these functions. As we move forward, when the control comes back to this function, that time I will discuss the logic. So next you see there is a producer function. Here is the body of the producer. Here you see void producer, and here is the body of the producer. At present, we are not seeing what is there in the body of the producer. After that, we see there is the body of consumer function, but we are not interested at present to see what is there in our consumer function. And now we can see we have a main function. Always remember, the execution of the program always starts with main function, that is the entry point of our program. So when we explain the program, we have to start explaining from main function. And whatever I explained you till now, that was the declaration of some variables, declaration of semaphore. Since all those declarations or all those variables were declared before the main function, that is known as global declaration or global variable declaration. Global variables are available to all the functions which are defined after their declaration. Okay, so it simply means that in, out, empty, full, buffer, all these variables will be available to producer, consumer, wait, signal and our main function. Now let us see the body of our main function. So if you see here, it says int main. That means the return type of our function main is integer, and whenever there is int, we have to have this return 0 statement. So we are returning 0 if we say int main. Let us see what this is the beginning of our main body, and this is the closing of our main body. Okay, so main function begins here and main function ends here. Inside the main, there is one more variable declared, int choice. Now since this variable is declared inside the main, this is known as local variable, and this variable is only available in the body of the main. So in other words, we can say that the scope of the variable choice is the body of function main. Fine. After that, there is printf statement. Printf statement is used to print the given message on the monitor. Okay. And what is the syntax? There has to be the parenthesis. Inside the parenthesis, there are double quotes, and whatever message you want to print are printed, or that message is given inside the double quotes. You see here \n. \n stands for new line. So after printing this message on the screen, the cursor comes down on the new line. After that, there is a while loop. And you see what is the condition? What is the condition of the while loop? While 1. 1 denotes infinite loop. 1 means the condition is true. 1 means true. So while 1 means while true. So there is no actual condition that we are checking. So that simply means that this while loop is an infinite loop. And to come out of this infinite loop, inside the body of the while loop, we'll have some condition. Okay. So let's not worry. Just remember that this is our infinite while loop. And inside this while loop, there is a printf statement. What are we printing here? We are printing one producer. So it will print one producer. Below that, 2 consumer. You see \n means the cursor comes down. Then below that 3, it will print exit. And below that, it will print the message enter your choice. So user will see these 3 choices given to him. 1 producer or produce, 2 consume and 3 exit. And there is a line which says enter your choice. So user knows that he or she has to input the choice. Now since we are going to accept that input from the user, we are having scanf function. Using scanf function, we accept the input from the user in our C program. Now what are we saying? We say enter your choice, and what variable we are using to accept that choice? We are using the variable choice. What is the data type of choice? Int. Because it is integer type, we are using the format specifier %d to accept the value of choice. And here, along with the name of our variable, we also say ampersand. Ampersand means whatever value is given by the user or whatever value we are accepting as an input, that should be stored at the address of choice. Okay, ampersand means at that address. Now, after accepting the choice from the user, we want to cross-check whether it was 1 or 2 or 3 or something else other than 1, 2, 3. For that, the best construct that we can use in C program is switch case. So, we are using the switch case here. Switch. For which variable are you checking the value? So, we are checking the value for the variable choice. So, you see here in the bracket, we have written choice. This is the beginning of our switch case statement. Now, what are the different possibilities of choice value? First possibility is choice can be 1. Second possibility is choice can be 2. And the third possibility is choice can be 3. So, let us see if choice is 1, this condition is true. Case 1, that means choice is equal to 1. Yes, the condition is true. And then we are making a call to the producer function. The control will go to the function producer. After the control returns back, there is a break statement. So we come out of the switch case statement. If the user enters 2, that means the second condition is true. First condition is false and second condition is true. Case 2, yes, true. So there is a call to the consumer function. the control will go to the function consumer. It will execute the body of the consumer and it will come back to this statement. After that we are saying break, so we are coming out of the switch case. Next possibility is that suppose if the user enters 3, so case 1 false, case 2 false, case 3 true, because choice is equal to 3, yes, so this is true and we say return 0. Return 0 is nothing but, in other words, exit. So we are coming here. So we stop the program here. User doesn't want to continue any further. What if user do not enter 1 or 2 or 3, user enters some other number? In that case, the control comes to the default, and in this default section, we print the message for the user which says invalid choice. Okay. And this is the end of while loop. This is the end of the while loop. And this is the end of switch case. And this is the end of our main. Okay. Now let us see the body of the producer as well as the body of consumer. So this is the body of our function producer. It says void producer. That means this function is not going to return any value. Here this is the beginning of the body of our producer function, and this is the end of our producer function body. Now in producer will always check for empty semaphore. Why? Because producer can produce the item only if there is a space in our buffer, if there is any place remaining for it. Okay. So what is the condition? If empty is greater than 0, that means yes, at least 1 is empty, 2 is empty, 3 is empty. If this condition is false, means empty is equal to 0. Empty is equal to 0 means nothing is empty. That means buffer is full. Okay. So it is very much necessary to check this condition for the producer. If empty is greater than 0, that means at least one slot is empty. In that case, now it will execute wait. Why it will execute wait? Because it has to enter the critical section, or it has to produce the item. So wait is executed on a semaphore called as empty. So what are we doing? We are sending this ampersand, means we are sending the address of our empty semaphore to the wait function. So the control comes to this wait function. What is there in wait? Wait return type is void. So wait is also not going to return anything, but wait is having a parameter int star s. So that empty pointer, the address, that will be accepted here. The pointer we are sending, and that pointer is accepted by the wait. The value at that empty star s, empty is now s. S is nothing but our empty semaphore. Empty is accepted as s. What was the size of empty? What we stored in empty? We stored the value 5 in our empty. So when we say star s, that means the value at that position. So star s means the value. What is the value? 5. So it checks. Is the value at s greater than 0? Yes, it is 5. So it will say minus minus. So now the new value is not 5, but now it will be 4. That's all. So it will just execute wait, and it will decrease the value of empty by 1. Empty is accepted as s here. After that, the control comes back to the producer function, and it comes to the next line. The next line says buffer of in is equal to item. Now what is the buffer? Buffer is nothing but one array. In our program we have taken buffer as an array. Sorry for not giving the straight lines. 4 and 5. Okay. Now this is our buffer array, and we are saying buffer of in. What was the value of in? 0. So at position 0 or at subscript 0, we say, what is buffer of 0? Item. What was the value of item? 1. So it produced 1 at subscript 0, and then there is a printf statement which says produced %d at position %d. So it says produced item, that is 1, at position in, that is 0. So you get an output which says produced 1 at position 0. Fine. Now we have to move to the next subscript. How do we calculate that next subscript? We are saying in is equal to in plus 1 modulus size. Why we use this modulus size? When we use this modulus, we could have just used in is equal to in plus 1. But what happens, like as we move like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, once the buffer is full, so at some time in will take the value 5, which is outside the bound of our array, and it's going to give us the error. So what we want to do, we want to wrap up when everything is full. Producer, when everything is full, consumer at some time consumer will consume these items. So we want to reutilize this empty slots from our buffer. So to wrap up from end to the beginning, we use this formula. So this formula will always give you the wrap up position of our in. Okay, fine. Now since we have produced one item, now the producer has to produce the second item. So we are also incrementing item by plus plus. Okay. After that, now since it has produced into the buffer, and it had executed wait on the semaphore empty, it is compulsory for the producer to also execute signal on full. So it calls the signal function, and the semaphore it calls full. Execute signal is the semaphore full. We are sending the address of full. So let us see what happens in signal. And what is there in signal? What we had sent the address of our semaphore full, that is accepted as S here, and signal will simply increment the value of that semaphore by 1. So what was full? Full was 0, and when we say plus plus, now full becomes 1. Okay, signal means plus plus and wait means minus minus. Again the control comes back to the producer function and it comes to the end. Now if you see, there is else statement here. If empty is greater than 0, if this condition is false, when it will be false? When our buffer is full, this condition will be false because empty is going to be 0. There is nothing empty. So it will come to the else part and it will print this message saying that buffer is full, cannot produce. Now let us see the body of our consumer function. See, consumer is exactly opposite of the producer. So for your exam purpose, if you feel like this program is too difficult or it's too lengthy, just do any one part. Either you do consumer or you do producer, and they are exactly opposite of each other. So in producer we check for empty, and in consumer we check for full. So consumer will check if full is greater than 0. If full is greater than 0, that means at least one item is been produced. So it can be 1, 2, 3, 4. If full is greater than 0 is false, that means full is equal to 0. That means it is empty. The buffer is empty and it cannot consume anything. So if this condition is false, the control comes to the else part and it will display this message, buffer is empty, cannot consume. But if full is greater than 0, that means at least one item is. So consumer will call the wait. Consumer will call wait function, and this wait is executed on the buffer full. So when the wait function is called, the control comes to wait function, or the control goes to the wait function. And as we have seen earlier, wait will simply do minus minus. So consumer will call the wait function with the semaphore called as full, and we are sending the address of our semaphore full. If full was 1, it will reduce by 1. So minus minus, that means consumer has consumed one item. And how do we say consumed one item? So we say that int x is equal to buffer of out. So buffer of out was 0. So whatever was at the position 0 in our buffer, that we are storing into the variable x. That means we are showing that some item is been consumed by our consumer. So it will display this message, consumed x. So consumed 1 from position 0. Consumed 1 from position 0. And as we calculated the next position of in, similarly in the same way, using this formula, we calculate the next position of our out for the consumer to consume the item. And since we executed wait, it is compulsory to execute the signal operation. So after wait on full, signal is executed on empty. That's all for the day. Thank you.